Okay, so got some really good feedback from the last video. So today we're going to actually just remain on brand, focus on something that is currently in conversation again. Gold and its beautiful sister silver. While we're actually on it, let's just take a look and see what we have for prices here. So Kitco has kind of like a literal live coin watch when it comes to actual ounces. So for gold, we pulled back a little bit from last week's run. We're sitting at 4,250. And for the beautiful sister, silver, we're looking at 51. So last week, silver hit $54, which is crazy. Because there's a little bit of a shortage of supply with silver. So I digress here. Let's actually dive into the video that we're going to be reviewing and reacting to today, which is, it's a little bit of a time capsule. Mr. Robert Kiyosaki, the rich dad, read his book a couple times. Pretty interesting guy. Has a contrarian view on most things, but he's very bullish on Bitcoin, while also bullish on gold and silver. A lot of people will probably think he's cuckoo, but I mean, I think he's literally lived out his his persona of a rich dad. So I mean, his opinion is relatively valid compared to most people. But yeah, we're gonna take a look at what he has to say here. And yeah, this one was suggested to me by one of you guys, so appreciate it. Let's just dive into it. Let's see what it says. Let's see what he says.
There's three kinds of money today that you guys got to be aware of. One is God's money, and God's money is gold and silver. So this is silver, and this is gold. The reason I brought it is most people don't know what it looks like. And then there's government money, which is fiat currency, which is the dollar, the yen, the peso, the euro, the yuan. Fake. And everybody's working hard for it. It's like eating fake food or drinking fake water. That's why people are getting sick financially, because they're working for fake money. And fake assets, which was another part of the fake millennial, the fake generation series. But the reason I brought this here is most people haven't seen it. This here is real silver.
Some rounds.
Okay. That's what it looks like.
Look at that box.
In 1972.
Okay. That's a major flex. Let me just pause this real quick. That green box he has on that table is... that is some people's entire life savings on that table. That is crazy. That could be a gold... I don't even care. It's definitely a bunch of precious metals in there for sure. I say this because I've seen one before. They're pretty heavy. Pretty cool though if you have one in your war chest. So yeah, he knows what he's talking about. Obviously, this is 4 years ago, which would put this video in 2020, not 2021. Man, they were affordable relative to today at that time. But it's never too late to stack. So if you stack, congrats to you. If you are starting, good luck finding a dealer or a broker that will give you a decent price point on these things, because they're expensive now. It's most likely best to go with like one of those, I don't know, secondary market vendors. But if you can't find anything, not financial advice, just go with your bank. Your bank might have something. And anyway, yeah, let's keep watching.
This is God's money. This is what God's money looks like. The reason I call it God's money is you can't fake it. You know, you can fake it with a fake ETF, like a gold ETF or a silver, which I don't touch because it smells as bad as the guys that printed that crap.
Stop, dude.
You know what I mean? Jesus. This is real money. So you look at this here. When I first started buying that was $1.40. Today, that's $16.
At Destination Canada, Google AI is helping give local
Google AI,
businesses
yo, calm down. Did you hear what he just said? When he first bought that was $1.40. And them sitting at that table, it was $16. What's the price of gold or silver right now, guys? What is the price of gold or silver, man? These ads are crazy. AI is everything these days. What is the price of silver right now? Let's just pause that, back it up a little bit, repeat what he just said. Go ahead, Robert. Say it one more time.
When I first started buying that was $1.40. Today, that's $16. And this here is oro, gold.
Okay, so he's talking about silver. $16 an ounce is what the price of silver was that time, during the time of recording for this video. And right now we're sitting at a $51 price point for an ounce of silver. And people still call this stuff useless. I don't understand, man. One of the most used precious metals in the arsenal of precious metals, like we're looking at precious metals between gold, silver, palladium, platinum, rhodium. Those top five, I mean, I don't really know what I'd be doing with platinum, but gold and silver, they're pretty barterable. You can exchange them. Yeah, that's very revealing. That's about almost like a 400% increase since that time. Let's just keep running.
And the reason we brought it in is most people haven't seen or touched. This is real. This is God's money. Why did I say it's God's money? Because it was here when the earth was created. Yeah. And it'll be here when we're all dead and gone. When you're saving those fake dollars, this will still be here. Yeah. Or those fake ETFs or those fake stocks. So this here is called the green box.
Told you, look at that box. Look at that box. Guys, man, when people say they plan, if you want to see an example of someone who plans ahead, don't look at race, don't look at age, don't look at ability, don't look at like lineage. Just pay attention to people that don't play around. This guy doesn't play around. Like, just do a little bit of research on what his portfolio looks like when it comes to real estate. Guy has like thousands of units paying him rent every month. He can afford to buy a green box. I wasn't playing. Look at this. That's all rounds, man. Like, those are probably like silver eagles or something like that. Jesus.
There's 500 of these little tubes like this.
Wow.
500. No. He might be wrong. There's 500 coins in there probably, not 500 tubes.
500 coins in here.
Thank you.
And this is one, which is worth more.
Which one's worth more? The gold.
Look at his
This is
eyes.
worth more than all that. Now the reason I say this is because for your generation, this could be the biggest opportunity you'll ever see. I'm not making any commissions on this stuff.
No, you're not.
But if you look at what happened with the fake central bank, see, the purpose of the central bank or the Fed or all, the Japanese bank, the Bank of Japan, or the European Central Bank, they pump out fake money. The purpose of central banks like the Fed is to protect the banks, not you. They're a criminal operation as far as I'm concerned. You're going to find that most of my talks are about the Fed. So I would recommend you guys buy this stuff. Don't save money.
Buy gold, buy silver.
Don't save government money, because they're corrupt as hell, as you know.
Buy gold. He's going to tell you buy gold,
Save
silver,
God's money.
or...
This corona crisis.
Pause before he gets all in the weeds here. So what not financial advice, obviously do your own research, but if I was to tell my past self in 2020, when did I actually start investing properly? 2015. 2015 was a time frame in which a person like myself at that time was sick to my stomach having to advise people to buy a bunch of garbage investments. There was, maybe 10% of the investments that you'd be advising in that environment would be actually worth the brass. But man, mutual funds with no guidance, just based off of apparently your risk tolerance, like people don't know much about much. So it takes a little bit more of an intentional lens to get someone to understand what they're investing in. And half the time, man, they're just pushing the bank's book. Like, it's not necessarily... Anyway, yeah, I digress. If I was to tell myself back then, I would have just put every paycheck into gold and silver. Without question. I mean, I knew nothing to the extent I knew nothing about blockchain to the extent I know about it now. But yeah, 110% gold and silver, every paycheck, just stack. Or sitting here in 2025, I would not be... I mean, I probably would have found this an opportunity, or I would have found an opportunity to, use my time to make videos like this and just connect with people like yourself. But like, that box that he's man, how many did he say? 500 coins? Do the math. 500 times 50.
As I call it, and it's a smokescreen for something that's been going on for years. And when I was your age, I was in Vietnam. I was flying for the Marine Corps. When my rich dad sent me a letter saying, watch out, the world's going to change. And the world changed because President Nixon took the dollar off the gold standard on August 15th, 1971. But back then in the 70s, being on an aircraft carrier, I didn't get that letter for like 6 months. That's how long it took to get to me. Now you guys go,
wow,
ding, ding, and you're there. I mean, the world is really no world at all. But he warned me that the world would change, and I didn't really understand it at the time. And but that's when my curiosity about gold and money and all this really changed.
I'm not getting paid for these ads, but oh well. That's why we skip them. Let's go. Back it up.
Corona crisis ended at the time. And but that's when my curiosity about gold and money and all this really changed. So today, when I look at the Corona crisis, but more the financial crisis, it's really, really horrifying.
Wait, we can discuss this stuff openly without getting flagged, right? Like, I'm assuming a video can be discussed or a video can be watched with that rhetoric. You know what I'm saying? Like the flu, the common cold, or whatever. I remember back in the day, anyone said anything about that, you're instantly demonetized, suspended, all that. Well, Rich Dad's clearly doing what he got to do, so... Back to speaking candidly is what I believe our world is hopefully leaning towards again. Anyway, let's keep watching.
Because the financial crisis started back in 1971. And the reason I'm a rich man today is because, I knew something was wrong. I didn't know until 72. When I flew behind enemy lines to go buy some gold, and I didn't know what gold was. It was illegal for Americans to own gold in 1972. And I thought that was really strange. So my life...
Let that marinate, whatever the word is. Let that sink in real nice and deep. It was illegal for Americans to hold gold. Mind you, it wasn't only Americans that were restricted from owning gold or buying gold back then. It almost became vogue in many parts of the world, to discourage the regular person from owning gold, which is insane as well. Clearly I wasn't alive or kicking around then, but crazy. Imagine being told you can't do something. You gotta do what you gotta do. This guy apparently flew behind enemy lines to buy gold. He took the risk. Look at him now. He says he's rich. I think he's actually wealthy, but I guess that's up to him to decide.
Life brought me up to this moment, so I'm very happy to be talking to you because the Corona crisis, while serious, the biggest crisis is the financial crisis.
I agree.
Your generation, the millennials, have been screwed. I mean, big time.
I agree.
Big time. I mean, if you understand how money is created, money is credit and debt. That's all it is. Money, credit, money.
That's debits and credits.
Credit, debt, and taxes. That's what money really is. But they don't teach you that in school. So today, the reason the world economy is crashing goes all the way back to 71. But what happened in 71, they could just make fake money, and they can keep printing fake money. And this is the US dollar. the U.S. can keep printing fake money for a number of years yet. And the only way they could keep the economy expanding, they had to find people stupid enough to get into debt. So when I say because of
People stupid enough to get into debt. What does he mean by that? Those are not paying attention to the real mechanism of money, putting themselves at a disadvantage for instant gratification instead of delayed gratification, setting themselves back just to, I don't know what, purport an image, like just to peacock. The greatest example I could think about right now is the leveraging accident, which most people got hit by, which was on the, what date was that on? A couple Fridays ago. What, guys? I can't really... I don't know. The most recent freaking collapse that we all just watched, that flash crash from hell, which everybody was crying about and everyone's still complaining about when it comes to, crypto and Bitcoin and all that. The market hasn't recovered from that, by the way. The only thing that's actually performing relatively okay or in reaction to economic instability is gold and silver, which makes this video rather timely. But yeah, stupid enough to get into debt. Man, sometimes you gotta survive, but a decision is a decision. If it's stupid, you learn from it, hopefully.
the dollar is dying. I'm just not BSing you. I am a student of it. And it goes all the way back to the original, not the original, but the book I read here is called The Grudge of Giants. Grudge
of Giants. Did I miss that? Noting this one down. If I was me back in the day watching this in 2021, I would have read that. Grudge or Grunch? I don't think he's saying that right. Anyway, whatever. Grudge of Giants.
Gross universal cash. So that's how I know the dollar is dying. The stock market is way high, and gold is high. They shouldn't be. And the reason is because they're ripping us off. They're printing so much money to keep the stock market high, so mom and pop stupid person who has a 401k or a pension, they I don't have to worry. I got a pension. The stock market.
Guys. Okay, this stuff, I'm assuming a lot of people are talking about this stuff as often as I am with my wife. So I was just debating, what's the biggest risk I could take right now at my age? One of the biggest risks I could take is very simple. To completely burn all bridges really, and completely forget that I even have a pension or an idea of a pension, and just take whatever small amount in relative terms, whatever amount is set aside for a pension, get hit by the penalty, take it out, and reinvest that the way I know I should be investing in. Buy a couple green boxes in gold or silver, buy a Bitcoin for the sake of buying a Bitcoin for exposure, because that's another regret that I have. I wish I invested more in Bitcoin, but buy some assets which I'm very, very convicted in. I have a great conviction about a few assets that are crypto related, and buy some real estate, buy whatever, invest in a business or two. I've thought about that, but that's a conversation I had within the past 72 hours, and I'm watching this now. I feel like I'm just aligning myself with some thought processes, and I don't know, my stream of consciousness is kind of pulling in what I maybe should be doing. am I? Just hit me with a comment or let me know. Am I out to lunch here? Is it probably a good idea to take my finances into my own hands by using some relatively dormant capital and reinvesting that into the assets that we are all paying attention to now? I don't know, but it's one big question I've been asking myself. Is that something I should do or not? Man, okay, this reaction video is... We'll pick it up. Let's go.
Market is up.
Hey, real quick, if you sell coaching or...
Yo, I should completely I should probably just pay for the premium version of YouTube to skip these ads.
And worry, I got a pension. The stock market is up.
Man.
And then meanwhile, gold is going up. The reason gold is going up is a common theme, because they're printing trillions of dollars. You cannot have both going at the same time. I hope I'm wrong, but the U.S.
Guys, I had a conversation, a conversation with a friend. He was saying that there might be a bubble for gold. Gold might be in a bubble right now where the moment the sentiment changes and Bitcoin starts rising again, gold will crash. I agree with that on a regular basis. The past few cycles of Bitcoin and crypto in general, whenever the positive sentiment picked up for cryptocurrencies, gold took a cooler, So, and then you have a lot of talking heads talking about how, Bitcoin's a safety asset. It's it's pretty much what people invest in when they're uneasy about the economy, and there's a lot of printing going on. I guess it depends on what school of thought or what kind of biases you have, but I don't necessarily think that's going to be the case for much longer. I don't think so. I think they're trying... the machine is currently almost in self-destruction mode where, yes, they do have to print a lot to keep and prop up the market. QE has been a crazy situation since 2020. Now to say that, right now for the first time, Bitcoin is not going up in the same rate that gold is. And I think, at least for the first time this quarter, it's not a confidence yielding kind of situation, but I mean, gold's at 4,000, pretty much 300, right? That is not a number to take lightly. We're not talking about 1,800 from the time that this video was shot. I'm sure gold was pretty affordable back then. I just need to take a look at this just to make sure I'm not crazy. We're talking... No. This is trading view, isn't it? Can we back this up? What was gold in 2020? Let's go. Yeah. Wait. What was that? 1,600. Yeah. Look, 1,500 and some. I was pretty close. I said 1,600. Yeah. There you go. January 20th of 2020. January 1st of 2020. 1,600. Pretty on point, boy. That is pretty much a 4x, almost a 4x. Like a 3x or so. Since that time frame, that is not something to take lightly. So, what are we looking at? What are we looking at here, guys? I don't know. Let's see.
US dollar is dead. And when it's got about 5 more years, don't get me wrong, it's still a strong currency. But gold will get stronger, so will silver, so will Bitcoin.
Listen to what he just said. In about 5 years. Okay? Let's just listen to that.
But gold will get strong. About 5 more years, the US dollar is dead.
The US dollar is dead. It got about 5 more years. And then what?
And when it's got about 5 more years, don't get me wrong, it's still a strong currency. But gold will get stronger, so will silver, so will Bitcoin.
I may be wrong about this particular timing because I think this video was spliced, but this was posted 4 years ago, which is 2021. And this guy just said that the dollar has 5 more years. 2021 plus 5 is 2026. Everyone who pays attention to real estate knows that it goes in cycles. They're expecting a kind of bust situation in the first quarter or the end of first quarter of 2026, which would make a lot of sense. 5 more years. I know that, around my circle of friends, we've been talking about how we literally have 4 years to get stupid rich. Otherwise, we will be poor forever. That is a very harsh way of saying we need to hurry up and get our together. Well, get our things together. Wow. But yeah, man, this stuff keeps me up at night, man. Like, I'm serious. I don't think this is something to leave to chance. Get rich by any means legally, okay? Get rich by any means legally. Do it quickly.
Because of this here is the school teachers, our governments, the Treasury, Wall Street, and the banking system, the Federal Reserve Bank, are ripping us off. In my opinion, the biggest news of all in the last few months was that Warren Buffett, the Oracle of Omaha, dumped bank stocks, and he dumped airline stocks, and he got into
mining,
Barrick Gold. In other words, he shifted into gold mining, and he and his buddy Munger,
Charlie,
have badmouthed
Rest his soul.
gold forever.
That's the second, well, I guess the first globally known Charlie. Wrong topic. Rest both their souls, but yeah, let's keep going.
Own some silver, but they badmouth gold forever. And so that is the biggest news of all.
Biggest tell.
Because it says something is really fundamentally changed in America. Foundationally. If he's dumping airline stocks.
Look at Boeing now.
He's dumping.
That was about the same time Boeing was declining. This guy knew something, man, because Boeing hasn't been looking too good. And a lot of airlines, man, sometimes, it's good to pay attention to the past. Look at these guys. Yeah.
Bank stocks, the question is, what does that mean? And CNBC and the other, CNBS as they call it, they don't cover it. Nobody covers it. And this is bigger, Trump or Biden, it's important. But Buffett going into Barrick Gold is 1,000 times bigger news to all of us because Trump or Biden have no possible power. They cannot stop what's about to happen. So let me say it again. The biggest news of all is not Trump or Biden or COVID. It's Warren Buffett dumping bank stocks. Can you imagine that? And dumping airline stocks. And then buying.
I feel like time froze in 2020. Time froze. Like everything that should have happened in 2019, 2018, 2017, like all that time frame, that entire window of time paused because all the stuff that was discussed at that time from an economic perspective, talk about money circles, investing, all that conversation is so relevant literally 5 years later from that time frame. Like we're talking about the same possibility in 2025. And one could say, yes, that's just like the cyclical nature of markets and this is a different cycle. So that 4 to 5 year cycle is just playing itself out again. And that's why we're talking about it now. That's fun and well, that's great. But honestly speaking, I feel like time froze. Gold is more relevant now than ever. Silver is more relevant now than ever. Bitcoin is more relevant now than ever. XRP, Ethereum, all these technologies that are technically supposed to have repaired or supported the financial system that we find ourselves in now are front and center. They're front and center main topics to discuss like today. He's talking, if I was to see Robert talk about this today, I'd be like, yeah, he's right. Like, this is a relevant conversation. This was 4 years ago, okay? And mind you, this could be a splice from a few years prior, but this is relevant now. So him saying like, yeah, Warren Buffett buying that gold or buying into that gold mine company is the biggest news rather than COVID or whatever was happening in 2020, 2021. It's relevant now. And I mean, I'm probably talking to like myself right now. No one's paying attention because of what's the flavor of the day again? I don't even know. What's the flavor of the day? Some wars and let's see. Oh yeah, some protests happening and some AI video of Trump dropping doo-doo on a group of people. Like, okay, great. Not now. Thank you very much. Trump says you... Right, okay. That's nice. It's a whole bunch of Trump talk, okay? That's what's apparently the flavor of the day. I could care less. What did Carney say recently? That he's going to tighten weak or loose criminal laws, like some, I don't know, whatever. That's all not important.
Barrett gold. We don't know what else he's bought. And the question is, what does that really mean?
Imagine being able to build an...
Guys, I've really had it with AI. AI. I've really had it with ads. This is an AI ad, probably the fourth one, this one. Let's go.
Right in front of her. And the question is, what does that really mean? So right in front of our eyes right now, we can see capitalism, socialism, and communism. That's what I'm concerned about.
We're almost
the
done
average
here.
person without financial education from our schools can't see it. They can't see it. So we're shifting to communism right now, central control of the economy. And then there'll be an IMF bailout,
IMF.
International Monetary Fund. What I say in private, when the IMF steps in to save you, like it did for Greece and Brazil and all that, IMF stands for I'm fucked. That's what it means. When the IMF steps in to save America, just say this up, oh, I'm fucked. That's what it means.
I know it's inappropriate for him to have said that, but is he lying? Is he lying? The IMF, what I know about the IMF is they're obviously an international monetary fund that supports or is mandated to support countries that can't support themselves, okay? But they come with like some predatory ass loans, okay? Like they do not hold it back. And they pretty much, if your country is in the weeds with the IMF, you can find yourself, your children's children in debt for the foreseeable future. So unless you have something fundamentally robust and innovative that would prop your economy, if there's a particular industry in your country that's actually so, I don't know, well sought after on a global stage, you may find yourself in some really hot soup for a long time, because their loans, yes, are there to help you, but they're getting their cut, okay? Like it's like you can take this $100,000, but you're gonna have to pay me 200% interest, like that kind of dumb stuff. I don't know. Some deals are made in the back door that make it less, they make it not as clear for the citizens of that country to realize. But at the end of the day, hey, investment is investment. It probably is needed to prop or give some momentum to dying economies. It is what it is. But yeah, I mean, he said it. I didn't say it.
I mean, the monetary system has been blown apart so bad that a foreign government, comes in and they're going to start giving us more fake money called SDRs, special drawing rights. I don't know what they are, but they're going to give us more fake money.
Okay, so here's the thing. Go do some research on SDRs, which are special drawing rights, and their connection with Ripple and XRP. Intentionally. I'm not going to shill right now, but it's something worth paying attention to because there's some documentation that link the IMF the World Bank, as well as World Economic Forum, to the kind of blockchain features that XRP offers, or at least the ability to access liquidity through that particular blockchain, is going to be leveraged by these institutions, IMF and World Bank being specific. I may be wrong on the details, but that's something that I remember was pinballing around crypto Twitter a few years ago. Might be worth looking into again. Maybe I'll pull that up for another video.
Make money. So that's the future. So that's why I said, won't free money destroy the USA? Answer is yes, destroy the world. So what should I do? I always say,
Buy gold and silver.
Silver, God's money.
And Bitcoin.
Bitcoin, people's money. You want to get outside this corrupt system. You know? Bitcoin.
I mean, he can say Bitcoin because he can afford to lose if Bitcoin goes down. This is a person that can afford to lose. But, I mean, history has not lied. It's been actually in his favor. If we're going back again 4 years, I can unlearn things. Bitcoin, to me, was not the hottest cake on the table. I did not like it. It was too expensive, and yeah. But, hey, if it's clearly currently doing well. So from a fundamental apples to oranges kind of comparison, it's doing very well compared to most other investments. Now, the question is its intention, or is the use of Bitcoin with no one knowing what or who made it, is it truly worth what it's currently being sold for? I don't know. I tend to trust my gut with most of these things. I haven't felt good about Bitcoin for a long time. I still don't, because of those, variables that I don't have the answers to right now. So, yeah, I guess we'll find out. Let's go.
Bitcoin is open source. That means the central banks can't mess with it. Gold and silver are God's money. They can't, they can try.
Well, I don't think he's completely right about that, because at the end of the day, central banks can't mess with it if they don't have the supply on their side. Right now, it's a volume game. You have BlackRock and Fidelity and everybody in that category buying millions a day, okay? Buying millions of Bitcoin and Ethereum, and I guess let's focus on those two. Bitcoin, millions of Bitcoin and Ethereum, tens of millions a day. So all it takes is for, the supply to actually become, hey, you know what? At the end of the day, I might be wrong. If right now we're at a total of about 19 million Bitcoin fully available, we have to get to 21 for that actual supply squeeze to happen. Then we're hitting 1 million likely after that. I don't know. It's artificially propped for the most part with Tether, but that's my perspective. Not financial advice. It's a different conversation. I have a lot of thoughts, clearly. Again, for another video.
They can try, but they can't make any more of it. So what happened is these fake financial planners, God, they're terrible people. They tell you to invest in the long term in the stock market. And look at this chart here. This is the Dow. It's at an all-time high. Why would you invest in the stock market? The Fed, which is a criminal operation, because they only protect the banks. The stock market is an all-time high. Would you want to get in now?
No. I mean, it's.
Well, that was a loaded question. Clearly, he loaded her by saying it's a terrible time, all that stuff. Yeah, yes, it's true. You don't want to invest in things when they're too expensive. But I told myself that Bitcoin was too. I told myself Bitcoin was too expensive in the beginning of 2017, and I heard about it in 2015, didn't pay attention to it. Now I'm wishing I did something about that then. But he is right. You typically don't want to invest in anything when it's at an all-time high. You want to wait until it's like relatively dirt cheap at a decent entry point, just so that you're not exit liquidity. It's not smart to invest in anything when it's inflated, especially with a chart that's that crazy. If Bitcoin had, traded like horizontally for 3 years like XRP did, then I guess it did to some extent around that $30,000, $50,000 mark, but lessons of the past. Let's go.
And that's the thing. I think that's why you were saying this. It's so important to buy right now because it's low too.
Yeah. And so look at housing. You guys always complain, oh, I can't afford a house. Well, wait till it crashes, then you buy a house, right? So in 2008, after it crashes, that's when I bought real estate.
And that's when he cashed in big. He's cashing in huge just because of that. So, not financial advice, but my neighbor is very, very plugged into this kind of stuff when it comes to real estate. He's also, I think, a boomer like this guy. Successful guy. Love him. He's a great guy. Great neighbor. Yeah, he's saying 2026 is a good time to want to buy something if you do. Don't buy anything now when it comes to real estate. Wait for 2026. Telltale is the commercial real estate delinquency rate. I think the delinquency rate right now for commercial real estate is at 11%. Let's see. Okay. What are we at, guys? Am I right? You're all. Excuse me. I don't have to go that far back. Let's confirm that we're actually delinquents. No, wrong chart. Let's go back. I'll pull it up later. Let's see. I think I can actually just pull this up as a news item. Look at that. Late 2024, it was at 10.4%. Am I reading that right? Yeah, I think I am. Okay. I mean, what I heard recently was at 11, not 10. And that was earlier this year. So, yeah, apparently that's something to pay attention to. If you're looking to get some commercial lots, next year might be the right time to do so. I got some good ideas. Reach out to me if you're thinking of building a syndicate. I might be actually asking to bite too big of a cake. But yeah, we'll see. Let's keep going.
So right now, look at the stock market all-time high. Real estate's an all-time high. Your phony education is an all-time high.
Jeez.
Everything.
Look at medical costs at all-time high. And these phony, fake financial planners are telling you to invest for the long term when the market's at all-time high. And what blew it into the bubble was the Fed. Mm-hmm. The Fed kept printing money. It just kept blowing it into this bubble.
Crazy.
So meanwhile, little silver, it's $15 on this chart here. It used to be.
Guys, look at those numbers. 1,200 for gold for 1 ounce. Oh my days. But yeah, look at that. That was 1980. It was cooking at like $50. I guess we're back to 1980 numbers. Let's see how far we can go with this.
It used to be as high as 50. You know?
Yeah.
$15 is a joke. Mm-hmm. So if you hold, and this is not an investment. I'll show you a little about this. Mm-hmm. I predict, and my predictions are often wrong, that if you buy silver today at 15, in 10 years it'll be worth 100.
I can't disagree with that. Because look at the numbers now. Okay, guys? Look at the numbers now. All it takes is for some funny tweet to come out, and this thing is gone. It's easy to say with the number at with the price at 50 now, I guess, but let's not be too sensational.
Because they keep burning it up, keep demanding it. So would you rather save the dollar, which is going down, or save silver, which is going up?
Yeah.
Look at
Can
that
you
green
afford
box.
$15?
I can afford, and that's why I think it's a perfect opportunity for millennials especially, who complain living paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah.
You set aside a couple $15 and then you'll be set.
Well, not at the rate of one at a time, but invest in a green box if you can. Maybe like a stack of rolls. A stack of rounds, rather. Man. You know, if you're ever thinking of getting me a present for my birthday, don't get me a car, don't get me what is this? Don't get me clothes or gift cards or whatever. Just get me a round, like a stack, like one roll of silver rounds. If you love me really, if you really love me, just give me one roll of gold rounds. Ounces specifically. And yeah, I'll answer your phone call every time you call. I'll show up to your house in person for your birthday. You'll have all expenses paid, trips to wherever I'm going with the boys for life, because that's a friend. That, and if you also send me a loaded ledger with no back door, full of XRP, a sizable amount of Ethereum, and some Bitcoin, and I think we'd be set. That's my criteria now, apparently. Otherwise, hey, prayer is always good. Peace and love is always good. I think this is done. I don't think I need to play the rest of this, do I? No, I don't. Yeah. Rather interesting video for 4 years ago. Very timely. And again, I'd love to know what you guys think. Gold and silver, are we just talking about it now because it's gone up in price? Is it something that is worth paying attention to? Because I saw some funny stuff of people lining up in Australia looking for gold and silver. Like looking to buy gold and silver. And I'm like, that is not a good sign. Like that's a bubble waiting to happen. Gold's spectacular price rise continues as new record high hits, you know? So what we're looking at right now is a line of people looking to buy gold. Surging gold prices cause long queues outside bullion retailers. This is insane. This is backwards, all the way backwards, like backwards. They're going to buy gold at its current price, all of them, and then gold's going to correct to like 3,500, something funny like that, if it does, and everyone's going to be pissed that it did that. This is backwards. When gold was at the prices that we discussed like a few minutes ago here in 2020 at 1,000, that's when people should have been outside those banks. I remember making my first purchase and the banker that I bought from looked at me like I was crazy. Like, why are you buying this right now? I'm like, buy some stock. I'm like, yeah, that's great, dude. I want to try my hand at this. And I'm grateful. I'm grateful I listened to my elders. You get me? Anyway, thanks for watching another reaction video. This one was about gold and silver and the new kid on the block, cryptocurrency. So I don't know. Robert has something to talk about all the time, and this was a good video. So if you like these kinds of videos, like and subscribe. We like to review these kinds of stuff, these kinds of old videos, new videos, current videos, and react to them objectively. What are the nuggets, gold nuggets, pun intended, that I'm supposed to be getting from this kind of conversation or this kind of thought process? I love contrarians, so by all means, please drop it in the comments who you think I should be listening to next. But until then, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one. Future's bright. Let's go.